Welcome, everybody.
Welcome everybody. Welcome back to our channel. Today we are doing our chrysanthemum square, and you can see that I've done a few different versions of this. I've really been trying to work with tapestry stitching and just different kinds of borders. And so this is the one that we'll be doing today with the stripes. In this pattern, we are going to start with our slip knot. And from here, we are going to chain 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we're going to do 11 double crochets right into this fourth hook from the chain. So count backwards 4, 1, 2, 3. This is 4. I'm going to do 11 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, and 11. So you should have 12 stitches total, including that first chain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're going to slip stitch to the top of our first stitch, and that is our first round. Round 2, we're going to do popcorn stitches. So for the beginning popcorn stitch, we're going to chain 2. And then in the same space as the join space, we're going to do 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, all into that same space. Now for the popcorn stitch, you're going to take your hook out of your loop, and you're going to insert it into your beginning stitch here of your first double crochet. Then you're going to go back into the loop from your last stitch, pull through, and then chain 1, and chain 1 again. Then we're going to do the same into every stitch around. So that way we're going to end up with 12 popcorn stitches. So that's 1. Moving into the next stitch, we're going to do 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets. Take your yarn off your hook, go back into that first stitch of your double crochets, and pull that loop through, chain 2. And we're going to do that in every single stitch, so that way we have 12 all the way around. So I'll do one more with you. Into the next stitch, 4 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4. Take your hook out of your yarn, go back into that first, and pull your hook through, chain 2, and into the next stitch you go. Okay, so I'm coming up on my last popcorn. This is number 12. I have 4 double crochets. back into that first, chain 2 to lock it in. And I'm going to change colors here. So we're going to slip stitch into the top of that first chain stitch. And if you don't want to change colors, that's fine. What you're going to do is just slip stitch over to this next chain 2 space. So you'll slip stitch into this stitch and then slip stitch right into that gap where the chain 2 stitch is. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off. Okay, so for this next round, if you are switching colors, we are going to do a standing single crochet into any one of the chain 2 spaces. So I am just going to choose a random one. I'm going to choose this one here, and a standing single crochet. Try to hold on to your tail so you don't lose it. And then 2 more single crochets in this chain 2 space. And I'm going to take my tail with me and pin it down as I go along. Then we're going to skip over into the next chain 2 space. Same thing, just 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to continue that all the way around until we have 36 stitches. So into the next chain 2, 3 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and the same into the next chain 2 space. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so here I am coming up on the last set of 3 for this round. And I just encourage everybody to always go back and count your stitches, because there has been countless times where I thought that my stitch count was correct and everything looked good, and then I had to go back and do everything again because something just didn't turn out right in the next round. So just go back and count your stitches. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. So perfect. We have our 36 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the beginning standing single crochet. And I'm going to chain 2 here. And on my 3rd chain, I'm going to go ahead and put my blue yarn on my hook. And you can do this one of 2 ways. You can just do it this way, where you have the blue finish it off. Or if that doesn't feel secure enough to you, you can put both of them on the hook. And pull through. Whichever you prefer. And I'm going to go ahead and take this yarn with me all the way through. So our next stitch is going to be a popcorn stitch. So we are going to first fill in this gap here. We are going to do our first 2 loops for our double crochet, but we're not going to finish it. We're going to go ahead into the next. And then we are going to finish off pulling through all of the loops. And that way we've only created 1 stitch, but that gap is filled in. So now we are going to fill in the next 3 double crochets into this same stitch. And we're going to go into the front to our popcorn. And we're going to chain 1. And we're going to do 2 double crochets. And again, I'm switching colors, so I'm going to go ahead and just switch over to my yellow yarn. If you're not switching colors, just go ahead and do your 2 double crochets. And this is 1. And 2. And I'm switching colors again for the popcorn stitch, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off that double crochet with the blue. Make sure I'm taking this yellow yarn with me and stitching it down so that way it doesn't come loose. And we're going to do our 4 double crochet into the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, release our hook, go back into that first stitch, pull our loop through, chain 1, and now we're going to switch over with our yarn, do 2 double crochets, 1, 2. Finishing off with that blue since we're switching back over to blue. Back to our popcorn. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're going to continue this all the way around, whether you are using one color or both. And I will meet you here at the end. I'm going to go ahead and do my 2. Well, not my 2, I'm sorry, my last double crochet. We have one here. And you can see how we have this extra space here that looks like it's supposed to be a stitch, but that was our join space. So you can just go ahead and do your 1 crochet, your 1 double crochet, and then join to the top. But there will be a little bit of a gap here. If you want to cover that gap, you can do this. You can start with a double crochet, but we're not going to finish it. We're going to go ahead and pull through our first 2 loops as normal. And then we're going to keep these loops on the hook, and we're going to start another double crochet in that join space. So that little join space there. I'm going to pull through the first 2. And then you're going to pull through all 3 that are still on your loop. And that way we've only created 1 stitch, but we filled that space so that way it looks full. It looks like there's a stitch there. Now I'm going to go ahead and continue on with yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to the top. I'm going to pull both colors through my slip stitch. And I'm going to pull the blue all the way through and just let that one kind of fall off. And I'm going to fasten it in so that way I can stitch it down in the next row. Here we are going to chain 1. And we are going to do a single crochet into the same join stitch. And then you see the gap here before that chain 1 that we did? We're going to put a single crochet there. And we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to go to the other side where that same gap is. We're going to put a single crochet there. And mine looks a little bit different because remember I was using 2 colors, so I have a little bit of an extra strand here. That's if you didn't use 2 colors, but you're just going to go ahead and look for that gap in between that first double crochet and the last double crochet of your popcorn stitch. And then you're going to single crochet in the next 2 double crochets. Then you're going to find that gap again, single crochet, chain 2, find the gap on the other side, single crochet, 2 singles, the next 2 doubles, and then a single in that space, chain 2. Next side, 1 single crochet in that space, 1 single crochet in each of the doubles, 1 single crochet in that space, chain 2. And you're going to do that all the way around. Okay, so here I am coming to the end of round 5. Got my single crochet in my space, chain 2. And so this is where we started. So make sure you put that single crochet in between the double and the popcorn stitch. And then you should only have 1 more stitch to do, because we started off and we did the 3 here. So we should only have 1 more stitch to do. And then we are going to go ahead and slip stitch to the top of our beginning. And that is the end of round 5. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to switch colors here. I'm going to go ahead and switch back to blue, which was the primary color for this pattern. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join at any chain 2 space. I'm going to choose one just a little bit before our join, so that way I can cover our join pretty nicely. And we're going to join with a standing single crochet again. So I'm just going to choose this one back here. Go in with my hook, pull through, and pull through our loops, making sure we keep track of our tail here. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we are going to single crochet back into that same chain 2 space. Chain 1, and we're going to jump over to the next chain 2 space. Make sure you take your tail with you. I'm going to weave mine in, and then I will cut it off at the next chain 2 that we are about to get to. And this pattern takes quite some time, so make sure that you're comfortable. So jumping into the next chain 2 space, which is behind our popcorn, 1 single crochet, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then single crochet into the same chain 2 space. And that's as far as I'm going to carry my tail. Chain 1, move on to the next chain 2 space, single crochet, chain 5, space, single crochet, chain one, move on to the next. And you're going to do that all the way around. Then I'll meet you back here when you are done. Coming to the end of the round here. I'm doing my last single crochet, chain one, and we're going to go ahead and slip stitch to our standing single crochet in the beginning here. And I'm going to go ahead and keep the same color for this background. And this is going to be round 7. We're going to chain 1. And then in this chain 5 space, we're going to do 1 single crochet, 1 half double crochet, 3 double crochets, and this is going to be the start of our petal. And this is just one side of it. So everything that we do to this side of the petal, we have to do to the other side. So we're going to chain 2. This is going to be the center of our petal. And we're going to reverse everything that we did. So we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 1 half double crochet. And we're going to do 1 single crochet. And you can see how that is forming a petal. It forms a little petal. So now we're going to go over to our chain 1 space, and we are going to put a single crochet into that chain 1 space. So chain 1 is just the next space over. And we are going to do the same thing into the next chain 5 space. So we're going to single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochets, 1, 2, lost my yarn there, 3, chain 2, undo it, 3 double crochets, 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. Next, chain 1 space, put a single crochet, then we're going to move over to that next chain 5 space. And we're going to do it again. So, single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double, 1 half, and 1 single. All right, and I will meet you back here at the end of the round. So I am coming to the end of my petal here. I have my 3 double crochets, I just had to start a new skein. So I have double crochet, single crochet into this space, and then we are going to slip stitch to the top of our stitch that we began with. And I'm going to fasten off here, and I'm going to switch colors. In round 8, we are going to start with a standing double crochet into one of the single crochets in between our petals. Here is where I'm going to start. This is my single crochet, and I'm going to go ahead and start right in that single crochet stitch. So for our standing double crochet, let's wrap our yarn, insert our hook, pull through the first 2 loops, and pull through the second 2 loops. So that is our joining double crochet, our standing double crochet. And from here we are going to chain 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now taking a look at our stitches, at our yarn, you want to find this space where our tail is. It's like our little join space here. You can see a little hole. You're going to come in through the back of that hole, and you are going to slip stitch to make a loop. Oops, my slip stitch fell through. Hold on. Try that again. Slip stitch. Okay, perfect. And after we slip stitch, we are going to double crochet into the same space. So you see here we have a little loop, and this is going to be the foundation for our petals in the next round. So from here we're going to chain 3, and it's okay if you want to let the petals stay behind for right now. We're going to go back and we're going to fix them. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the next single crochet in between our petals. We're going to go ahead and double crochet. We're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to find that kind of join space again, right at the base of the chain 5. Slip stitch. And double crochet into the same space. Chain 3. Find our next single crochet in between our petals. Insert for a double crochet. Chain 5. And we're going to find our space here. Slip stitch. And double crochet. And you are going to do that all the way around. So I just finished with my last chain 3, and I'm going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the top of our standing double crochet from the beginning. And I'm going to fasten off colors here. I'm also going to take time to make sure that I'm trying to hide this tail just a little bit. Starting off row 9, so with the same color, which is yellow, I am going to join with a standing single crochet into one of our chain 3 spaces. Chain 3 space, standing single double crochet. Oh, I'm sorry, standing single double crochet, standing single crochet. See, nice and easy. We are going to jump into this chain 5 space that we did, this loop. And in this loop, we are going to do 2 double crochet, 1 and 2. And this is how we are going to build up our next petal. Now we're going to do 3 treble crochets. So wrap your yarn twice around your hook, still into that 5 space, 2, go through 2, go through 2. That's 1, 2, go through 2, go through 2, that's 2, and 2, go through 2, go through 2. That's 3. And now we are going to chain 2, and just as in the previous petal stitching, we're going to have to undo everything we just did. So 3 treble, that's 1, that's 2, this is 3, 2 double, 1, 2. And you see we have a nice little petal here. So now we're going to jump to the next chain 3 space, and we are going to do a single crochet. Now we're going to jump back to this next 5, chain 5, which is the loop that we did, and we're going to do our petal again. So 2 doubles, 1, 2, 3 trebles, 1, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 doubles, 1, 2. We have another petal. So we're jumping over to the next chain 3, right behind our blue petal or whatever color you used the first time. And we are going to do a single crochet. And these single crochets that are in between our stitches are going to come handy when it comes time to pinning down our petals from the previous few rows. So this is the last one that I'll do with you guys. Hopping into our chain 5, which is our loop, 2 double crochets, and 3 trebles, 1, 2, and 3, chain 2, 3 treble, 1, 2 doubles. And that is your pattern all the way around. So I will see you guys back here at the end of your row. Okay, so here I am coming to my last petal. Have our double. And I went ahead and I just kind of weaved my tail over this way so that way I could fasten it down into this petal. Feel free to do that, or however you normally do it. 3 treble. Chain 2. 3 treble. 2 doubles. And we already have our single crochet that we joined with, so we're going to go ahead and just slip stitch to the top of the single crochet that we started with in the beginning. I'm going to start with a standing single crochet, and I'm going to insert here into this chain space from the petals in the first petals that we did from round 7. And I'm going to make sure that I go through this single crochet in the back. And this is what's going to pin these petals down. So we have our standing single crochet, and we're just going to go ahead and do one more single crochet into the same spaces. And just as we did our little chain stitches to hold our petals forward here, we're going to do the same for our yellow petals. So we're going to chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we are going to jump into the next petal, the center of the next petal from round 7, and that single crochet from the round before. And we're going to put 2 single crochets there. So 1, 2, and we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now for those of you that don't want to pin, instead of doing 2 single crochets, including this petal, the center of this petal, you'll just go into the single stitch here and do 2 single crochets. 1, 2, and then you'll just chain 5 and keep going. So this is what it looks like pinned. Put the petals in front for you. That's what it looks like pinned. Okay, and this is what it will look like unpinned. So these are safe, they're secure, they're not going anywhere. This one can run the risk of doing that, and then it looks like you have a hole in it. But to each their own. I'm going to continue with my pinning, and as I said, you do not have to pin if you don't want to. But that is the pattern all the way around. 2 single crochets, and then chain 5. All right, I am at my last chain 5, and the next row should be pretty easy and go by pretty fast for you as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to just slip stitch to the top of our standing single crochet. I'm going to slip stitch over to this chain 5 space. So this is the tail from that round before. I'm just going to go ahead and slip stitch over it, pin it down. I'm going to chain 3, and this counts as your first double crochet. So we're going to do 8 more in this chain space. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just double check, you should have 9 total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Perfect. And we are just going to do this all the way around. So you're going to have 9 double crochets in each of your chain 5 spaces. So just move on to your next chain 5 space. You can continue to carry your tail if you want. You don't have to. I'm not going to continue to carry mine. Next chain 5 space, 9 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay. Again, just double check, count your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you're going to do that all the way around in each chain 5 space. I'm doing my last set of 9 double crochets. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And you're going to come back and you're going to slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 that we did in the beginning. And then we are going to slip stitch around this back post here. So we're going to go, instead of traditionally we coming through the front here, we're going to go around the back. So we're going to come in through the back here, cross over the post that we're interested in, go through to the other side, and that's where our slip stitch is going to form. So now we are fastened on to the post of that double crochet from the round before. We're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and that's going to count as our first back post double crochet, and that was around this first stitch. So now we're going to move to the second stitch. Wrap your yarn, come in through the back, go through. You're going to pull your yarn back through to the front, through to the other side. You should have your 3 loops, and it is a double crochet. Again, Wrap your yarn, separate your posts, come in through the back, cross over your post, go in, pull your yarn through, and double crochet. And we're going to do that one more time. So we should have 4 in a row. Wrap your hook, separate your stitches, go in through the back, cross over, grab your yarn, pull it back through the same way you came, go through 2, go through 2. Now I'm going to go ahead and pin these petals down again. So in this next double crochet, what I'm going to do is grab my petals from the previous round, round 9, and I'm going to do a half double crochet through the center of the petal and through our next double crochet in the back. So we should have 4 back post double crochets, a half double crochet, and then we're going to finish off the other side with 4 more back post double crochets. So this double crochet we're going to skip over because we put our half double crochet. So you should see 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gonna go in through the back like we've been doing. That's 1. This is 2. This is 3. And 4. You should be ending on that last post from that post of 9. Okay, so you should still have 9 stitches here. The 4 back post double crochets, the half double crochet, and 4 more back posts. And that's going to be your pattern all the way around. So now we're moving on to the next petal. We're going to do 4 more back post double crochets. So 8 all together. 1, 2. And it might be hard for you to look at it this way and to be able to recognize where you should be entering for your back post double crochets. So when I do the next side, I will show you how I used to look at it to make it a little bit easier. So half double crochet through the next stitch. And then sometimes with these back post double crochets, it's just easier if you fold your work down. So you kind of look at it from behind and you can see where your actual posts are. So I used to just flip it down. I saw that my post is here. This is my post, and I just crochet around it. And it's really up to you, just if it makes it look easier this way or the other way, but this is my post, and I'm just going to crochet, double crochet around it. So whichever way makes it easier for you to look at is what's important. And so you're going to continue that all the way around. And I will meet you back here when you are all done. Okay, so I am coming to my last petal here, my last set of stitches. So 1, 2, 3. crochet. And then my last 4 back post double crochets. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to the top of our beginning chain 3 here. Okay. So after we slip stitch to the top of this chain 3 space, we are going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this counts as your first treble crochet. We are going to go back into our join stitch and we are going to do another treble crochet. Okay. Now, after this treble crochet, we are going to move into the next stitch and do one more treble crochet. And so this is going to be the first side of our square. And then we're going to do 3 double crochets in a row. So 1, and I'm going to start my stripe here. So I'm going to start with yellow. So I'm going to undo this top here. I'm going to get my yellow on my hook, and there are 30 stitches per side, so I tried to make sure that these were going to be evenly spaced, just starting from this row all the way up to the bottom. So I'm just going to do the last 2 double crochets in my yellow. So 1, and I am going to be switching back over to white. So when I do this second yellow double crochet, I'm going to finish the second 2 loops that I have on my hook with the white yarn. And so we have the 2 trebles, which are our corner, the 1 treble, the 3 double crochets. Now we're going to do 5 half double crochets, and those are going to be in white. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was a single. Gotta do a half. And 5 half double crochets. Then we're going to do 8 single crochets. 1, 2, and on my 3rd single crochet, I'm going to go ahead and switch up my colors again for my 2nd stripe, and my 2nd stripe is going to be blue. So let me grab my blue. And I'm going to finish off that single crochet with my blue. And then the next 2 single crochets will be blue. And because I'll be switching back to white, I'm going to finish off that single crochet with my white. So we have 5 single crochets. We need 3 more. we're going to undo everything that we just did. So we just had the 8 single crochets. We're going back to the 5 half doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I wanted to switch colors here, so I undid that half double crochet that we did, the last one, and I'm going to go ahead and finish it off with our yellow yarn. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my double crochets. I'm going to do 2 yellow, 1, and I'm going to finish off the top of this second double crochet with white, so that way I can change back. And we're going to do our third. Double crochet. And after our third double crochet, we have 1 treble into the next stitch, and then 2 treble crochet into the stitch after that. We're going to chain 2 and put 2 more treble crochet. So that way we have our corner. We're going to finish with a half double crochet to the top of our first treble. And that is the start of our square. Moving on to round 14, we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we are going to double crochet into the same half double crochet join. And then from here, we're going to do 3 double crochets into the next 3 stitches. And 3, and then we'll do 3 half double crochets into the next 3 stitches. So this is where I changed out my color in the previous row, so this is where I'm going to change it out again, and I'm going to stick with my yellow since I'm doing full stripes. Finish off this half double crochet with the yellow. Pull my yarn tight, keep everything together. Then I'm going to do 2 more half double crochets into the next stitches. So 1, and because we're switching back to our white, we're going to just go ahead and finish the top of that double crochet off with the white. So we have our corner, we have our 2 doubles, we have our 3 single doubles, we have our 3 half doubles, and now we are going to do 18 single crochets. And on the 8th one, we see that we're switching our colors again, so I'm going to go ahead and go back over to my blue to finish out that stitch with my blue. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so that's 8. The next two going to be blue, and that's number 9 and number 10, which we will finish off with our white since we are switching back to that. And we have to do 8 more, and those will be white. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so on this next one, we're going to go ahead and switch back to our yellow, because that is what we did in the previous round. And so we are going back to our half double crochet. We have to do 3 half double crochet. The first 2 will be yellow. And we're going to finish off this half double crochet with our white. And we will do our 3rd half double in white. Then the next 3 stitches will be double crochets, and those will be in white. That's 1. That's 2. And then we are going to go ahead and create our corner. So into this corner space, we have 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet. And so here you should see that your stripe is starting to build upwards. Go ahead and do that all the way around. So I am coming to my last few stitches here. I just did my last set of 3 double crochets, and I'm going to do my 2 double crochets to end my corner here. And then I'm going to join to the top of the chain stitch here with a half double crochet. And that is the end of round 14. And you should be so proud of yourself because this takes hours. So if you have gotten this far, you have done a lot of very good work. So be proud of yourself, celebrate, do whatever it is you need to do. These next 2 rounds are fairly simple. There isn't too much counting involved. The next one is just double crochets all the way around. So welcome to round 15. We are almost there, guys. Almost there. So to start off round 15, we are going to go ahead and chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. This is our corner, so we're going to go ahead and do our second double crochet in the same space. And then we're just going to do 1 single crochet or 1 double crochet in every stitch around. We notice that our color change is coming up. We're going to go ahead and get our yellow on our hook. And this is the last round for color changes as well. So the next round is going to go by a lot quicker than these past couple rounds have if you have been sticking with the color changes with me, if you like them. And we are going to finish off the top of this double crochet, these last 2 with the white, since we are switching back. Make sure you have your tails. And you're going to just continue to double crochet until we get to our next color change. And then we have our color change coming up. So I'm going to leave my last 2 loops on there. Go ahead and cut this yellow and get my glue attached to my hook. Two little double crochets, 1, and the second one. We are going to finish the last 2 loops with white so we can switch back to that color. And double crochet white all the way. Here we are at our corner. I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 double crochet. Chain 2 and 2 double crochet. And then double crochet all the way along the next edge and all the way around, and I'll see you guys when you are done with that. But if you can see the stripes, you see, oh, I love it. That looks nice. I even do like the in between a little bit. It just adds a little bit more color. I really like it. Yay, yay, yay. Yay, 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 yay. Yay! We're almost done with round 15. And once we get to our corner, we're going to put our last 2 double crochet in there. And then we are going to join with a half double crochet to the top of our chain stitch. And we're going to fasten off here. This next row is going to be our last row. We are going to attach with a standing single crochet into your corner space. And then we're going to put 4 more single crochets to that space. And then you are going to single crochet all the way across. And you should have 43 stitches on each side by the time you are done. So starting in our first stitch, let me pull this back actually. And just take your tail with you. Just remember to take that with you, okay? I'm coming to the corner here. And in your corner space, you are going to put 5 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to continue on to the next side. So starting here, that's your first stitch. And going all the way across, we should have 43 stitches on each side. And that is important because each square will end with 43 stitches, and that's how we're going to make sure that they align when we combine them for the blanket. Alright, and I'm coming up on my last few single crochets. Hey, we did it, we did it. We finished our square, almost. Alright, and then we are going to just slip stitch to the top of that standing single crochet and fasten off. We did it, everybody. Congratulations. This took a long time. It's a lot of work switching colors and tucking in tails, so good job, everybody. And if you enjoyed and want to finish this blanket, please don't forget to subscribe and come back next time.
Thank you, everybody. Welcome. Don't get